Well, hello guys, welcome back. I was talking to Loki. I'd seen the news today and I was talking to Loki and I said, what would be something good, something for us to do for you guys? So we tried the puppy puzzles we have, do not judge. I thought with the news today, everyone could just use some cute little puppies. Everyone could use to remind themselves that there is good in the world. There's kindness in the world and there's innocence in the world. That's something good to remind ourselves of. And to remind ourselves that self-care is very important. You don't have to be personally involved for a tragedy to affect you. There are people that to this day, when they read about Abraham Lincoln or they read about this or they read about that, they will break down into tears every single time. I know for whatever reason I can't listen to certain football ads and not break down into tears, and I couldn't tell you why. I mean, it's football, but if I hear certain songs related to football, I'm like, this is such a beautiful world, and Lucky's looking at me like, yeah, that's enough for you. And I'm not drunk at the time either, by the way, but everything affects us all differently. And I said to Loki, I actually scared myself. Because I started watching the coverage, and I'm like, yeah, I'm used to this. I've seen all this before. And I said, that's a horrible way to be. And what it is we adjust very quickly as a species. To everything that happens, we adjust fairly rapidly. We can feel lost and frightened and scared, but we adjust fairly rapidly, and that's healthy. And I said, I don't want to watch this coverage because we've all been through it. You know, 2 tragedies in less than 2 weeks. We know what's going to happen and what's already happened. Every politician has jumped on this and jumped on the bandwagon. People are running up to people and shoving microphones in their face on the worst possible day of their life. And nothing ever changes. And it was just a shock, and it knocked me off my feet to not even have 2 weeks in between. So the thing I would say that both Loki and I agreed on is that, you know, if you find the news upsetting, it's okay to turn it off. Right now you can do no earthly good by forcing yourself to watch something that's upsetting you, because you're upset because you couldn't do anything. You couldn't be there for whatever reason you're upset. And to give it time. There will always be coverage. There will always be coverage. There will always be, you know, people talking about it. And if you want to help to, you know, to give yourself time to do self-care, to get yourself to a place where you're strong enough that you can help, and then to do something to help. We live in a world where, you know, we're being asked to adjust quickly to a number of things. And to have 2 mass shootings in less than 2 weeks, that is hard. That is hard. And I wasn't even sure, and I checked, and it was, you know, October 27th, and then it was yesterday, and I'm like, that's less than 2 weeks. So it can be hard, but you have to remember to, you know, you can pray for the victims, certainly. You can pray, you know, for the country, but to remember to do self-care, because that's awful important. I went through September 11th, and I can tell you, you don't change things by staying glued to the coverage. I actually couldn't watch it after a point, and everyone in my family, that's all they wanted to watch. They watched it all day long. We all cope differently. You're not bad if you're watching it all day long because that's helping you cope somehow, and you're not bad if you're not watching because that helps you cope. We all cope differently. The idea is we do something eventually to help. You might not be able to help financially, and that's fine. You know, help with prayers, help with magic, help however you can. And just take care of one another. The puppy puzzles I wanted to do for you are delightfully mindless. They're just drag and drop the pieces into place, the very simple ones. And then they get a little more challenging. By the time you get to like there's about 80 some puzzles, I think. By the time you get up into the 70s, they're pretty challenging. But you do the first ones, they're wonderfully mindless. There's not even any music with these puzzles. It's just you and the puzzle. I ended up putting on podcast or something and listening to that. So if you guys are interested, I can definitely play it for you, but I'm not kidding when I say it's drag and drop puppy puzzles. It's not like a 1,000-piece puzzle. It's like 20 pieces or something. It's one of those weird games where you're not sure what the age demographic was because the same company makes stuff and it's so random. I guess it's all ages kind of stuff. I have no idea, but it was one of those puzzles I got in a pack. Remember the Halloween game I got? Well, to get that Halloween game, I had to buy it in a pack, so for less than the Halloween game, I got puppy puzzles and kitty puzzles. I also have kitty puzzles free, and I got one with Miss Mole. Well, Miss Possum. Sorry, Miss Possum. And Miss Possum is the most polished one, and it's soft guitar, and it's impressionist puzzles. And it's like classical guitar, and it's something else. You have no idea what the age demographic is on that. But for a while at least, guys, I'm going to try to bring you more soothing content. I honestly do not think that having any other kind of content would help you at this point. I still love my other games. I do, and I'm not judging video games as someone that's played them all their life. But I have to think of you guys first, and I've noticed people have said they like the games that are more peaceful, though, you know, I will always and forever rate something. If I decide to play something teen or something adult, I will rate it. Loki and I had to work through a demo that I wanted to bring you that you will now never see, of a game where you play a teddy bear. And you play this teddy bear, and you and your little girl move to a new house with her family. And your little girl is taken away from you. And you're this little one-eyed teddy bear and you flop to the ground. And, you know, game over, right? Well, you get up and the bad guys are like these kind of doll things, whatever they are. And you get 2 toy guns. Or maybe they're real guns, I don't know. And you go after them. Because you're going to get your little girl back. And it's a shooting gallery. And again, I don't think video games with shooting galleries in them cause violence, but I thought it's a little tone deaf to play right now. So, you know, whatever you guys want to see, I'm good with playing. And again, this isn't a video game channel, but I offer the games as something to help us all decompress from time to time, because I know how stressful life is. I live on the same planet. I wish I had options. I've also been in Nature Treks VR. That has gotten some improvements. The graphics keep getting polished up a little bit here and there, and I usually go into the Fox Hollow for a while and play with the foxes, or go pet an elephant or a tiger. I've like had it with human beings. I'm spending a lot of time in there playing with animals. I'm like, I've absolutely have it. I'm gonna go pet an elephant because I can. Yeah, it's just been 2 weeks where I'm glad my parents don't have to deal with this on the physical level. But at the same time, you know, I'm sure they would have gotten a kick out of the good stuff, like the good parts of VR, like going up and petting elephants and hugging your giraffe. Yeah, going and hugging at VR animals, and the animals are probably like, huh? You know, VR animals aren't real, but yeah, I'm hugging tigers because I can. So yeah, you can like ride on the back of an alligator, do stuff that would be game over in real life. And the alligator's just like, fine, I'll give you a ride, get on my back, stupid. So I've been doing stuff like that, hanging out in the jungle, going to the savannah, petting a lioness. Be the last thing I do in real life. You know, going up to gorillas, pet the gorilla. I'm doing things because I'm like, animals. Animals are the answer for me whenever life goes bad. So we're coping. And that's the idea, guys. We want you to find something that makes you laugh and happy and cope and gives you hope, because you seriously need to do that right now. Or if you're not affected right now, that's totally okay. We're all different. But when you need it, you need to have a happy place to go to. And petting animals is definitely my happy place. So, if you guys like what you see or you have any suggestions, we unfortunately have a gaming budget of absolute zero right now. We do have like a couple hundred titles in VR. A lot of them are like 30-second experiences, but if there's something you want to see, if there's something that would make you feel better, just ask. Don't be shy. We're happy to help. It's at least some small way we can help and give back to you guys. So if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.